there, I'm Graeme Harrison, VP and General Manager at Bluesound Professional, and I'm here in Barcelona at the ISE show. This is the very first episode of a new series of Surroundscapes, and this one's about hot topics, specifically about what's going on at the show. We're going to interview a few of our partners, but we're also going to go and have a look at some of the things that people are talking about. So let's go and have a look around. Another must-see at the show was from Stage Precision with their SP Grid. This is a very difficult product to actually talk about because it does so much, but I'm going to start from the perspective of people creating experiences. So what the SP Grid ecosystem does is allow a no-code development and control platform to link many things together. For example, you can link sensors like cameras and lights to things like Unreal Engine in order to create immersive experiences really simply. So the architecture is that there is a one RU server. There are dashboards that you can look at what you're doing. There are the devices that you're controlling, and there is a remote monitoring aspect to it. There are various software things. There's the Grid Studio, which is where you're creating the links and the actions. And then there's the Grid Viewer that you can look at on mobile devices in order to control those actions in real time. So all of this is user-generated using predominantly Python script. Super simple, easy to do, and their motto is connect anything with everything. The thing that's got me excited is how experienced designers can use it to really easily and quickly create and control and monitor immersive experiences. But in future, it has great applications in the wider world of smart buildings, and it can also come down market into home automation. So this could be super disruptive. It could disrupt the monitoring platforms, it could disrupt the control platforms, and it could be the glue that connects everything AV together. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this develops. But I recommend that you look at it because I think it has the power to change everything. I'm here talking to Nathan Brady, who's the General Manager of Integrated Solutions at our Australian distributor, Amber Technology. Hi there, Nathan.
Hi, Graeme.
So firstly, talk to us a little bit about Amber Technology and your company.
Yeah, so Amber Technology's been around since 1987. I didn't start at 1987, and we've gone through a number of iterations on that journey, primarily working in the AV market. I'd say probably the last 5 or 6 years, the business has undergone significant change in the positive way through several key acquisitions that we made, and that's really brought about change in our business in a meaningful way. It's brought in acquisition to products like Bluesound, and it's also brought talent to our organisation. And so we've also recruited well in the last couple of years. And so yeah, we're kind of on a focused growth trajectory at the moment. And under probably trying times in Australia, but it's going well.
And what areas of the market do you cover?
We work in multiple markets. We work in the residential integration space. We work in the commercial integration space. We also have media. We also have a pro division. We also have our defence division, and we also have major retail, all focused on AV and related communication technologies.
Wow, a big company. So
publicly listed, ASX, yes.
As you mentioned earlier, acquisitions. So you acquired another distributor called Connected Media, and Bluesound Professional came with that acquisition.
That's right.
We had been growing nicely with Connected Media, and then you took it on. It's been, again, growth, but what we've really seen is in the last 12 months, a real acceleration of that growth. Can you tell us what's been behind that?
Well, firstly, I would say it's about focus. It's taken us a little bit of time, with Bluesound being a reasonably new technology in the commercial space. And I think the team has diligently worked on executing in market. We've run a number of key focus strategy sessions, and they've helped build business. In fact, we've been able to materialise new projects through that and acquisition of business. I would say we're also taking some market share from the competitive landscape, and we're also developing new customers along the way.
You talked about key focus strategy sessions. What do they look like?
They're nothing particularly complex other than focus sessions where we're inviting a broad range of customers into a very specific space under the banner of Network AV. So it's around technology, and we're introducing them to the Bluesound and Bluos technology under that banner. And it's been quite transformative, again, in the commercial space, but probably educating the market in terms of the capacity of the product and the portfolio. And equally, in the last 12 months, we've seen a lot of new product come out with the new speakers and a range of other things. So I think having a fully augmented product line has helped us as well. And we're really introducing it. And literally 50% of the time we're getting orders on the spot from the integrator for their clients, which has been great.
So you talked about introducing it and the clients. What's been the reaction of integrators and consultants to Bluesound Pro ecosystem?
Well, they're certainly elated, I believe, around what the technology can offer, and they see and understand, okay, this technology can allow us to do this, and we have clients' needs that facilitate this. So, and equally, I would say it's interesting when we look at the global case studies, we're experiencing a very similar environment. So we're seeing projects in retail, we're seeing projects in school halls, we're seeing projects in real estate agents, we're seeing a nice mixture across the board. And that would indicate that I think our clients are seeing customer bases that perhaps we don't necessarily think of on the spot. So having a broad range, being very focused, has enabled us to get a nice spread across the market.
Yeah, that's what we've seen globally, that we're going into far wider markets than we imagined.
Yeah.
We'd imagined just hospitality and retail, but we're doing stadiums, we're doing government institutions, we're doing hospitals, we're doing a lot of corporate work. So it's been interesting seeing that widening of the spectrum of installs.
Yeah, I think it's great to be surprised, right? And I think we all come into all kinds of manner of things with fixed mindsets sometimes. And I think being open to that and really working closely with your client, and things materialise that maybe you hadn't expected. And it's great to see that this product and brand can cover such a wide variety of verticals. It's been really our experience has been exactly the same.
Excellent. So one thing we've really been focusing on in the last year or two is our PoE speakers. What's been your experience of those PoE speakers in the market?
Yeah, I would say it feels like it's still early days, but sensational. It's helped immediate orders, immediate business in the market, more opportunity developed. The pipeline is looking really good. So I would say we've barely tipped the iceberg. I think there's more opportunity out there, and again, I think we'll see fruition of that this year. So all in all, excellent, and we're very excited about where that's going to go into the future.
Yeah, that's been our experience too. We've seen a really steady growth in the streamers, but the speakers have been
Just
like this exponential growth. Yeah. Any advice to other distributors and maybe even other integrators as to how to see the success that you've had in Australia?
Look, I think it's not rocket science, but it's about that growth mindset. And I would say the business is now transitioning. You would say, we talked about this earlier, startup business, and I think it's probably not fair to label Bluesound as that anymore. But I would say in that mentality of taking a push mentality to the brand of like, you can't wait for the orders, you've got to go out there and make it happen. So really moving forward and introducing people and not being afraid of that. Every time we've been in a position to introduce the technology to a new client, we get our customers happy that there's a solution there they can now use, either as an alternative to something they may not be very happy with at the moment, or they see, as we discussed before, new opportunities that we hadn't thought of. So, it's just creating that focus and taking a push mentality would be not rocket science, pretty straightforward stuff. Not that hard, just focus. Yeah, and do the work.
That's exactly what we're preaching. You've got to be hungry. You've got to get out there. It's hunting. It's not farming.
Yeah, totally.
But if you do that, there's huge opportunities out there.
Well, I think that's what we've seen in that last 12 months has set us up probably for the next 3 years of growth that we'll have. Because once those clients are on board, they're very unlikely to shift their mindset on what they want to use in terms of technology, providing the technology will continue to deliver and you guys make a class product. So
yeah, that's our intention.
Totally.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Nathan. That's been great.
Fantastic. Great to see you again, Graeme.
And you.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers.
So e-ink has been a part of my life for a while now, with my Kindle, with my remarkable note-taking tablet, and even with a simple e-ink phone. But now we're seeing it in the AV industry. We're seeing a number of companies use Kaleido technology for e-ink large displays. They were being shown at the Samsung, LG, Dynascan booth, and maybe some others. But I really want to focus on the Agile Display Solutions booth. They had a 32-inch solar-powered e-ink color display. So this literally takes no wires. It relies on the solar power for updates for the display, and it has an app that connects to the display for the updates. It also uses an Azure cloud platform for cloud-based updates. What this means is that you're able to deploy digital signage solutions at scale with no cable. Literally, you just hang the display and walk away. As well as this scalability aspect, which I've talked about in various other segments of this video, there's an environmental aspect. It uses no power at all. This should be available in June, and the projected price is around about $1,300, which is a little bit more expensive than a conventional professional 32-inch display, but not ridiculously expensive. And I believe this technology will transform the industry, both in terms of scalability and also sustainability.
I'm here today with Matteo Lupi, who is the president of Sound Machine. Sound Machine is one of our favorite business music services. And can you tell us a bit more about Sound Machine?
Yeah, of course. So thanks a lot for having me here, first of all. Sound Machine, we are a B2B music service, which means that we provide a solution, audio solution, content solution for businesses, these being retailers, hospitality industry. We've been in the business for about 13, 14 years, based out of Los Angeles primarily, and now, as of lately, with operations in Europe as well. What we did, we just, in fact, acquired a business here in Spain, which is going to be a complementary part of our strategy in growing our operations here in the continent.
Yes, that's a fascinating business you acquired because they do audio, digital signage, and sense. So they're looking at a number of different senses, which I think is a really smart move now for the future where we're trying to create more immersive environments. I'm going to be really excited to see where that leads. So you mentioned you're a business music service, but you're so much more than that. You have a very, very wide library of content, so users have a great choice of content. You have a lot of different stations. You have the ability to do mixes, to schedule, to insert messaging. It's a terrific service. And I believe that you've got some new developments on the service too.
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to what you just said, what we recently did with this idea of focusing on the experience of the customer or of the customers of our customers, we just released a high definition product, a new plan, let's say, that is actually a fantastic match with your product range. And that plan is absolutely unique in the B2B space. It provides 320 kbps audio quality in stereo, and we believe is actually going to be a major differentiator in our product offering. We have seen a tremendous excitement from the dealer base and from our end customers, and a tremendous pickup in terms of adoption from our customer base. So for us, focusing on quality has always been our target, our main objective. We did it when we launched importing stations or playlists from our other products like Spotify or Apple Music, and now we're doing it again with our HD tier.
Yeah, we're really excited for that because our products can support up to high-res uncompressed, and we're really excited to see music services offer higher quality content that allows people to curate better experiences, as well as highlighting the quality of our products.
Absolutely.
You also touched on something that's another unique part of your ecosystem, which is this ability to, through translation services, convert and synchronize to playlists converted in all sorts of residential music services like, as you said, Spotify or Tidal or Qobuz or iTunes or even YouTube Music or Discogs. It's an amazing service, the ability to both convert playlists but also synchronize playlists. To me, that's a really great feature for music curators because they can sit in their offices, curate playlists, add things to them, take things out, and in real time, that appears in their business music environment. Is that something you're seeing a lot of uptake on?
Yes, absolutely. And I would add on top of that, this has facilitated the migration of businesses that are unaware that they need a licensed product towards our platform. So a lot of businesses using consumer streaming services that actually are interested in complying with the law, with the legalities of everything. And what they're doing is they are importing their existing playlist onto our platform, and from there everything is going to be legal, and that opportunity to import those stations is what has moved them to adopt our product even faster than what we could have hoped.
And that's great because we're really keen to see people migrate from illegal residential services to legal business services. And we really lead with the unique features like the scheduling, like the messaging, like the radio stations, like the enterprise control. But there is this legality part as well. And we want to do the right thing for customers and for the musicians. Thanks so much for all of this, Matteo, and thanks for your partnership. It's been great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One of the products that's been getting people excited at the show is these displays and the software behind them from Layard, allowing people to do non-linear video displays. So you don't just have a video wall, but you've got different tiles that can be dispersed in a creative way with content that flows seamlessly between them. And this is a great example of how you might do it.
We're here with one of our favorite partners, the remarkable and innovative Excite remote monitoring program. So I'm here with Omar Brookstein, who I've known for a long, long time, who's the founder and CEO of Excite. We do have another partner spotlight episode in Surroundscapes later on. So if you want a deep dive about Excite, come and see that episode. But in the meantime, can you just give us like a quick bit about what Excite's all about?
Of course, Graeme, it's great being here. Thank you for having me on the show for today at ISE. So I guess in a nutshell, what Excite is a collaborative cloud platform that enables device manufacturers such as Bluesound Professional to collaborate in a Connect Plus in a unified ecosystem with your system integrators, managed service providers, and end customers. And we simplify that and democratize that for everybody to be in the cloud, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And you look after really important things like security and notifications, and really provide what a lot of our both integrators and larger end users have been asking for. So how's the show been for you so far?
Yeah, the show has been great. So I think with the recent launch of, once again, the Connect Plus ecosystem, we get a lot of more interest from system integrators looking to change their business from selling and moving boxes into services, as well as from end customer we serve on the platform. And the other thing is that, I think that's the key, and you and I discussed it a lot in many cases, many opportunities, is that we see that from device manufacturers. And I think in that sense, the industry is changing from having a very siloed, kind of trying to lock the customer to a single vendor approach into understanding that this industry needs a standard in one platform where customers can see their Bluesound Professional devices next to their Zoom room, next to their microphone, speakers, and displays. And that completely simplified the process for the integrators and customers.
Yeah, that was important to us that it was an open platform, because much as though I like to see us selling the whole system from end to end, often we're in systems with other manufacturers' equipment, and there's very good reasons for doing that. And I'd like our integrators and end users to be able to monitor not just our bit, but everything. Having said that, one of the things that we're being really successful with at the moment is PoE speakers. And the real advantage of those is you can monitor right to the endpoint. So instead of just saying my player is working, I don't know what's happening with the amplifier or speakers, I can say, I know sound is coming out of that speaker. So as we get more and more traction on these really distributed endpoints, I think the monitoring is going to become more and more important.
Absolutely, we see that for scale across everywhere, right? Speakers is a great example. Light fixture is a great example. There are more and more huddle spaces with some basic USB-C. And while in the past, maybe we had one large boardroom or one large auditorium that we could test every morning, we simply can't do it today when we have hundreds and thousands of spaces and devices and endpoints like speakers. So there have to be a technology that helps us to solve that. And a platform such as Excite enable those system integrators and the end customers to become proactive. And if there is an issue with that speaker at the endpoint, that will be immediately notified about it, so I can fix it before one of my end user complains about the speaker not working.
We're seeing more and more very large deployments. And the two things that are really important in that are, first of all, speed of deployment. How quickly can you do things? We had we're in the middle of an integration that's 85 sites a day. And then the second thing is, once I've done it, how can I manage it? And that's where you come in. There are lots of companies I look at and they have a product that I think, okay, that's a cool new speaker or amplifier or whatever it is. What you're doing, though, is truly new and innovative, and I think will really speed our industry's adoption of SaaS and really learning how to sell software and learning how to sell services. So thanks so much for your time, Omar. It's great again to see you, and we're looking forward to our future together.
Thank you. My pleasure. Cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to talk to you about some of the trends that we're seeing at the show. It's been super busy, so I haven't been able to get off our booth too much, but I've been talking to some of my friends about what they're seeing, what's exciting them. And one of the trends is not so much new in terms of hardware. There's no screamingly new hardware that people are talking about. A lot of companies are adding functionality to their ecosystems in the software domain. And I think that's showing a real maturity in the industry, in the same way as the IT industry, where the hardware becomes more of a given and all of the functionality is in the software. So this trend moving more and more into the AV world, I think is a sign of maturity and a sign of our immersion into the wider world of IT. Another thing that we're seeing is almost all of the things that people are talking about are in the video domain. I'm really not hearing too much about the audio side of our industry, which in a way is sad to me because that's the side of the industry that I'm so passionate about. So hopefully between now and the end of the show, I'll hear about some cool new audio stuff. But a lot of the things people are talking about are in the video domain, and specifically things that are enabling the experiential side of our industry. So in our industry, people talk a lot about the UCC space, the meeting room, but that's becoming increasingly commoditized. And a lot of what's really driving excitement in the industry is what's happening outside the meeting room, in the wider workplace. So some of the work we're doing with the Well Office and Surroundscapes, as well as much larger experiences. So now I'm back in Portland after a terrific ISE show. It was a record year. They had a 15% increase in registered unique attendees with I think 85,000 or so people there. And some things have come to light since I got back, or I've had more of a chance to think about. So the tiling that we saw at the Planar booth turns out to be much more ubiquitous than I first thought, and there are many companies doing it. Planar is a good example, but most of the big video companies are doing that sort of digital engine, allowing you to place the video monitors everywhere and having them linked up. But I was also talking to some other people about trends that they'd seen, and some of the things that they were talking about was modularization and simplification. So for example, Shure had a kit with microphone, camera, sound bars to make it super easy to deploy and scale. Huddly cameras were also talked about, and something that I talked about in the trends bit that I recorded in Barcelona with this concept of software adding functionality rather than more and more hardware. So this again was a big trend. Logitech had a whole ecosystem around sensors for radar, for air quality, for CO2, and being able to generate data through the AV system to feed into the building BMS system. Because very often the BMS data that's generated isn't easily accessible to the AV part of the building. So we're going and getting that data ourselves using sensors into the AV equipment and putting it back into the BMS systems, the building management systems. Another thing that people were talking about was depth sensing cameras to be able to build up 3D images of rooms and to bring that sensor input again into occupancy and BMS systems. So these were some of the trends that we saw at ISE. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out of my booth enough and see them for myself, so I had to rely on friends and experts in the industry. I hope you found this whole overview interesting, the interviews, the must-sees, and the overall trends sections. And this is the very first of the new series of Surroundscapes. They're available at your favorite podcast apps, although the easiest place to find everything related to Surroundscapes is at surroundscapes.bluesoundprofessional.com. And we'll have new episodes every Tuesday, so please come back and listen to more.